Welcome back. My name is Dak, and today in this video we are reading from the Boy Scout Handbook, 11th edition, chapter 13. Now this chapter I really like a lot. It's kind of short, it's not as long as some of the other ones, but I like it. It's all about personal development, making the most of yourself. This is a great inspirational chapter in my opinion. Let's get into it. Good judgment, self-reliance, initiative, the ability to learn. The BSA can help you achieve them all. I really like the idea of personal responsibility this puts on the individual. Making the most of yourself. Do you enjoy music? Maybe you can play an instrument and sing a song. You might like sports too. Do you know the rules of soccer? When you throw a baseball, is it right on target? You might be able to draw cartoons and faces. Math and science might seem easy for you. Maybe you can make people laugh by telling funny stories. Your friends might respect you as a leader and a good listener. Perhaps you are gentle with animals and like to spend time caring for them. You are a collection of wonderful talents, ideas, and experiences. Your skills and interests are possibilities. They are hints of what you can become. To make the most of these gifts, be open to the joy of learning. How to gather information. Something you don't understand is a mystery, just waiting to be solved. Gather clues by looking and listening, asking, reading, writing, learning by doing, learning by teaching. Looking and listening. Your eyes and ears can be powerful tools of discovery. Pay attention. As you help a neighbor plant a garden, study the way a window washer ties a safety rope around his waist. Watch where birds near your home like to roost and notice what they seem to be doing. Learning by observing is especially important when you are hiking and camping. You can make sense out of a map only if you are aware of landmarks around you. When you see changes in the clouds, you can pitch your tent before a storm breaks. Sit quietly in the woods and you might observe wildlife that would otherwise stay hidden. Practice using your other senses too. The smell of rain, the taste of a huckleberry, and the feel of the wind in your face can deepen your enjoyment of adventures and teach you much about the outdoors. Asking, can you show me how this works? Would you tell me why this happens? Is there a better way to get this done? When you are curious about something, ask. People are almost always willing to share what they know. Be polite, of course, and if someone is busy, you might need to arrange another time when he or she can talk with you. But there are no silly questions, and there are no questions that are too simple. Questions are stepping stones to knowledge. Unless you ask, you might never know. Reading. Strap yourself into the pilot seat of a rocket and feel its engines blast you into space. Hoist the anchor of an old wooden ship and sail the open seas with pirates and explorers. Shrink yourself to the size of a blood cell and swim through the human body. Become a dinosaur and stride across prehistoric lands with long, thundering steps. Through the magic of reading, you can do almost anything. A book is a flying carpet, a time machine, a spyglass. Open a book and you can travel to the far corners of the earth, to the inside of an atom, and to the most distant stars. Do you know what people ate 1,000 years ago? What makes a computer work? How to find a summer job? Reading can give you the answers. School and public libraries are full of exciting books. Librarians will show you how to locate books about subjects you like. Just ask. They will also explain how you can use library videos, recordings, and other forms of stored information. Find out about getting a borrower's card so you can take home books and other library resources. Reading aloud to someone is a generous act of sharing. Read to your parents, your brothers and sisters, and your friends. Perhaps you know of elderly neighbors who would love to hear a story. If there are younger children in your family, encourage them to read to you. That's a fine way to spend time together as you help them improve their own reading skills. Reading is a window into the past and the future. It is a doorway to discovery and adventure. Read, and read some more. It will entertain you, expand your mind, and fill you with worlds of fresh ideas. Couldn't agree more. I would only add, read good books. There's a lot of bad books that you could waste your time on. There's a lot of bad books that could do bad things to you if you read them, but try to find quality books. It's like eating food. Eating high quality food, nutritious food is much better than eating low calorie or low nutrition food. Writing. Travelers going into new territory keep track of what they see by writing in a journal. Scientists make notes of their experiments. Sailors keep records in a ship's log. Many scout patrols have a trip log in which they write about each of their hikes and campouts. Try keeping a journal of your own. Get a notebook and write a little every day about what you have done and seen. Write about school, activities with your friends and family, and what you observe in your neighborhood. You can include drawings, photos, stories you have cut from newspapers, and anything else that interests you. No one but you ever has to read your journal, though you might want to share it. Some people write in journals every day for many years and can use them to remember what they were doing long ago. But even if you just write once in a while, putting your words on paper will give you a new way of understanding yourself and your world. Baden-Powell, Scouting's founder, filled his journals with a lifetime of adventure. Learning by doing. Do you remember how you learned to ride a bicycle? Perhaps you saw someone else riding and thought you would like to do that too. You climbed on a bike, started pedaling, and fell over. You got back on and probably fell again. You kept at it though, and finally figured out how to ride. Today, bicycling might seem so easy that you've forgotten it was ever difficult. Much of learning is like that. You try something and grasp a small piece of it. You try again and understand a little more. The key is to keep at it and to learn from your successes and from your failures. Learning by teaching. Scouts have many opportunities to share their knowledge with others. You might show your patrol how to use a compass. Once they have the idea, give them the compass and let them try it. They might make mistakes, but that's all right. Encourage them to keep at it and provide more guidance when they're stuck. Before long, you'll have the new skill mastered. They'll have the new skill mastered thanks to you. Teaching is good for the teacher too, and as you share your knowledge, you'll find yourself thinking carefully about how to explain it. Helping someone else learn will increase your own understanding of what you know. This one I love so much. Usually when I really want to try to learn something, I try to prepare myself to teach it, and that's how it really gets sunk in. Oh, this one I don't know how much I agree with. Watching television. Television offers many opportunities for learning and for entertainment. Coverage of sporting events lets you feel as though you are sitting in the stands. News and information programs keep you informed about current affairs, history, science, and the arts. But television must be used wisely. Okay, I do agree with this. Many families look through the program listings together at the beginning of each week and pick a few good shows they want to watch. Disagree, I don't know of any families that do that. Otherwise, they leave the television off and use their free time for reading, playing sports, learning music, helping neighbors, working on scout projects, and enjoying each other. No, that's not true. Everybody watches television. In addition to filling so many hours, television programs and commercials often present fantasy views of life. Actors neatly solve all their problems by the end of each show. They sometimes use violence to settle differences with others. Smoking, drinking, unwise sexual activity, and illegal drugs are sometimes shown as being glamorous. Of course, solving real problems takes lots of hard work. Hitting or shooting real people causes pain and death, not peace. Tobacco, alcohol, and drug abuse can make real people ill and dependent. Talk with your family about what you see on television. Do you agree with the way the actors are treating one another? Could the story really have happened the way it was presented? By discussing programs, you can better separate the make-believe of television from the realities of life. See, I feel like this was all well before Netflix and binge watching and stuff like that. I mean, we experience television way differently. But yeah, moving on to internet. Using the internet, computers allow access to a vast amount of knowledge. By logging onto the internet, you can contact sources of information around the world and download material about any subject. You might already be using the internet for schoolwork, hobbies, or simply for enjoyment. You can also develop online friendships with scouts anywhere on the globe. For all of its benefits, though, the internet can also present hazards you should know about and avoid. Most people using the internet are friendly and honest. Okay, that's a big assumption. However, there are some who use the internet to take advantage of others. There are also websites with content that is unsuitable for young people. Absolutely. Use the following guidelines to protect your privacy and gain the most good from your time online. Don't respond to messages or websites that make you feel uncomfortable or that you know are meant only for adults. If you come across information or images that you don't understand, talk about it with your parent or guardian. Don't give out personal information, including your address, telephone number, photograph, school name, or your parent's work address or telephone number. Never agree to meet anyone who has contacted you online unless your parent or guardian comes with you. And I mean, I feel like, yeah, that makes all perfect sense, but like, to buy anything online, Amazon, you're giving your credit card and personal information, including your address. To get on Facebook, to get on Instagram, to get on most sites, there's so much information out there and so many things that require you to give out your personal information. It's really hard for a kid to understand the differences. Having initiative. Thinking is good, knowledge is good, but no man ever gets very far with either if he does not have initiative. Boy Scout Handbook, 6th edition, 1959. It's fun to learn about adventures through reading, computers, and television, but it is even more exciting to have experiences of your own. Grab your pack and head for the hills with your patrol or troop whenever you can. Paddle a canoe, climb a mountain, and sleep under the stars. Catch a fish, repair a trail, cook a meal outdoors, and hike in the rain. See new places too. Explore neighborhood parks, city museums, and zoos. Visit factories and public utilities. Your travels as a scout might take you to a high-adventure base far from home and even across the ocean to a world jamboree. Take time to meet people too. Greet neighbors down the street and scouts from other troops. Visit with new students at school and with hikers you meet on the trail. Who are they? What do they do? Everyone has a story. Listen, learn, and discover. Have the initiative to increase your knowledge. Family members, teachers, and neighbors have much to share. Develop good study habits and use them. To complete big projects, you might need to aim for small goals along the way. Hikers who walk the 2,000 miles of the Appalachian Trail from Maine to Georgia don't do it all in one day. Each morning they set out to walk about a dozen miles. They might not seem like much when there are so many miles to go, but a few miles every day carries them over mountains, through valleys, and past sparkling lakes. Late one afternoon, they come to a windy mountaintop that is the end of the trail. By setting reasonable goals and then sticking to their plan, they can walk the entire Appalachian mountain range. You can meet many challenges that way. Map out a route to reach a goal of where you want to go, what you want to learn, and what you would like to achieve. Figure out the small steps that will take you there, then complete them one at a time. The hardest part of making your own adventures might simply be getting started, but once you've laced up your hiking boots and are standing at the beginning of a trail, nothing can hold you back. Once you've said hello to someone and been greeted with a smile, the tough part of making a new friend is over. And as soon as you open a book and start reading, the words will seem to flow. I agree. The old proverb, and I'm paraphrasing, the longest journey begins with a single step, or a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Absolutely true. Getting started is the hardest part. Inertia, just getting going, oftentimes the hardest part. Then once you get going, it's easier to keep going. Also, one thing I want to say back here, my favorite thing that really took me to the next level was the first time I went climbing and rappelling. Going back, using gravity, rappelling back off, and then climbing up a mountain face. That was like a life-changing experience for me. I would encourage everyone to have that type of experience. That was one of the best things that Scouts ever did for me. Making your own good luck. A scout troop camping in the mountains was hit by a storm. Even though they had snug tents and warm sleeping bags, some of their scouts began to complain. They were sure the weather was ruining their trek, and they wished they hadn't come. But one scout thought it was great to be in the middle of a mountain storm. He loved to hear thunder crashing down the long valleys. He saw the beauty of a forest full of mist. He knew that bad weather would put his camping skills to the test, and he welcomed the chance to improve. I always hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and accept whatever comes my way, he told the others, and then I have fun no matter what. With a smile on his face, he had a fine campout. Okay, that's totally fake. There's no young man that talks like that. That is just a fun, faith-promoting rumor type way of putting it. That's definitely a fictional story. Rain falls on everyone. There is not much you can do about that, but you can decide to see the hard times as opportunities rather than obstacles. You can choose to make the most of a situation rather than giving up and wishing you were somewhere else. The world around you is bursting with opportunities. Jump into life, celebrate it, live it well, and help others. Make the most of every moment. Do nothing that is not of value, and live every day to the fullest. Oh, agreed. That part. Excellent. Self-reliance. As a scout, you can learn how to cook camp meals for yourself. You can pitch a tent and get your bed ready for the night. You know ways to care for your clothing and gear. You can do things at home too. Helping with the cooking in your own kitchen is really not much different from the way it is in camp. The same goes for taking care of your clothes, making your bed, and keeping your part of the house neat. The time you spend outdoors studying animals, finding your way, and working with other scouts can increase your patience and concentration at home and in school. When you lead a patrol on a hike, you are learning leadership skills that will be valuable in your family and in your community. Scouting teaches independence. By knowing what to do, you develop trust in your own abilities, and you have the quiet confidence that you can always do your best no matter what happens. Oh, excellent. This page should be at the heart of everything. Learning how to go from a state of dependence to a state of independence and being self-reliant. Oh, wonderful. Good judgment. Good judgment is the ability to make wise decisions even in difficult situations. You don't need great knowledge to use good judgment. You just have to do your best with what you already know. Each of us has been around people who seem to do the right thing at the right time. Your patrol leader might be that kind of person. He comes up with ideas at meetings. Okay, yeah, right, no. He gives you a hand with scout skills when you need a little help, and he leaves you alone when you want to do them yourself. Maybe like the adult patrol leader might have that wherewithal, but not a young man. He looks out for your safety and well-being of others, both in the patrol and beyond the troop. Some people would say he is using common sense, while others might call it wisdom. What they are really talking about is good judgment. Good judgment, says an old scoutmaster, comes from having lived through and learned from lots of bad judgment. See, that's a thing a scoutmaster might actually say. And that's the previous description, not a patrol leader. A scoutmaster could be like that. Your patrol leader didn't become wise without making lots of little errors, but he doesn't let them discourage him. Instead, he learns all he can from each failure and then moves on. He knows that he can often learn more from his mistakes than from his successes. If you examine the end of a log, you will see a series of rings expanding out from the center. Each ring represents a period of growth. Together, they made the tree strong and helped it withstand the worst storms. Your experiences, both good and bad, are like those rings. Each adds a little bit to your wisdom and to the strength of your judgment. Good judgment can't be taught, but through the gathering of many experiences, it can be learned. Oh, now that's some good writing right there. All right, that's the end of chapter 13. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share your thoughts about young men, about what they need to be doing, what it was like making the most of yourself, what stood out to you, what do you agree with, what do you disagree with. All right, we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.